and despite what they and most of the town thought, she'd do it. And then she'd sell it and get the hell out of this shitty little town for good. It doesn't matter why I'm in Salvation. She planted her no longer shaking hands on her hips. What matters is that I am here and we're going to be making changes to make Sweet Salvation Brewery a success. Miranda didn't let her backbone wilt until she'd made it safely back to her office, closed the door, and twisted the lock on the knob. She would have slid down the door into a puddle on the floor, but one quick glance around showed that the less-than-stellar cleaning habits of the brewery crew extended into Uncle Julian's old office. Picking her way around the boxes stacked thigh-high and towers of paperwork, she crossed the small room and settled into the desk chair. Second thoughts crowded her brain. Making the Sweet Salvation Brewery profitable was supposed to be a sure thing. She knew there would be challenges, but she'd forgotten just how little the people in this town thought of her family. No one took a sweet seriously in Salvation. She stared at Uncle Julian's "Live Free, Die High" framed poster and sighed. I can't imagine why the town thought we were a bunch of weirdos. Well, she didn't fit that stereotype, and she'd promised herself a long time ago that she never would. Needing to hold on to tangible proof of that fact, she grabbed the legal pad she'd used to jot notes during the brewery tour. The list of repairs she'd compiled covered 2 sheets, front and back. She was going to need a significant advance from the DeBoer coffers to implement her turnaround plan. She powered up her laptop, grabbed the phone, and dialed up her office. "DeBoer Financial, how may I help you?" Her cubicle mate's calm voice helped to steady Miranda's barely keeping it together nerves. "Hey, Barb, it's me." "Thank God you called." Barb's voice dropped to a whisper. "He's on the warpath." No question about who he was. Her boss was Patrick Basin, a guy most of the staff secretly called Patilla the Hun. He was infamous for hoarding work and dumping it off on an underling only days before it was due. If the project fell apart, he made sure the staffer took the fall. If it was a success, he took all of the credit. The man was a menace in a cheap suit and garish tie. "He's pissed I went straight to DeBoer on this project, huh?" And for good reason. Patilla the Hun had temporarily lost one of his worker bees. Poor guy must be analyzing financials and outlining acquisition deals for the first time in years. "That's putting it mildly. He yelled at me for about 15 minutes about how you have no respect for the chain of command. He's itching to find a way to submarine you, so be prepared." It sucked having a nemesis at work, especially when it was your boss. Miranda had tried everything short of blowjobs to get on his good side, but she'd finally had to admit that Patilla the Hun didn't have a good side. He was just an asshole. A big one. So she'd buckled down and put in more hours than any other acquisitions associate in the firm and finished every extra project, no matter how tight the deadline, in an effort to get out from underneath the boss from hell. Making Sweet Salvation Brewery into a success was the key to getting her name on the door to her own corner office and out from underneath Patilla the Hun's control. "Can you get me through to Mr. DeBoer?" Miranda asked. "Shouldn't be a problem." Barb lowered her voice. "I plied his assistant with an extra cherry Danish this morning." Miranda chuckled. Thank God the woman used her powers for good. "You are the best cubby mate ever." "True. Now get this brewery thing out of your system so you can get back to the real world in Harbor City. Hold on. I'll patch you through to Mr. DeBoer's office." Miranda hummed along to the on-hold music for half a bar. "Miranda." The speakerphone made everyone sound far away, but Mr. DeBoer's deep baritone came through loud and clear. "I've got Patrick here in my office. He was just telling me how he's reorganizing the workflow in your absence. It seems he was expecting your input on a number of projects." She rolled her eyes, more like he was expecting her to do his work for him. "Really? I finished everything in my inbox before I left this morning. All of the files are on the company drive." The clacking of Mr. DeBoer's fingers plinking away at the keyboard echoed across the line. "And so they are." "So sorry for any extra headaches." Miranda clamped down on the urge to sing out "Nanner Nanner Boo Boo." She'd busted her hump for too long to give up the high road now, especially when she needed something extra to make everything work out according to plan. "Mr. DeBoer, I've had to reassess the situation here at the brewery. Before I can